Hi, Andrew Urquhart here in the Rema studio. Welcome to people watching on Facebook Live. Something really exciting going to be happening in the studio very shortly. We've just got a song happening at the moment, but after that, talking New Zealand Sign Language Week, and I've got some special guests in the studio who will be talking about New Zealand Sign Language. And also helping us to take first steps when it comes to learning New Zealand Sign Language and finding out just how important it is for us to take some steps. So hopefully going to be learning a new language in the Rema studio this morning. I'm not sure I'll get very fluent at it by the end of the program, but I will have been more fluent at it than I was at the beginning, so certainly looking forward to that. And hey, love to get your comments on Facebook as well, especially if you have learnt sign language or you know people that do. Make sure that you tag them or you get them involved with this as well, and encourage people in your social networks to participate in that as well. So yeah, thanks very much. We are going to be live on the radio, but this is kind of like your behind the scenes bonus feature on our Facebook page this morning. So thanks for joining us there. And we'll do some introductions while we're waiting. Now, we'll do these when the radio...
learning some sign language, so happy Sign Language Week, everyone.
Thanks, Victoria. Now, Victoria will be speaking through sign, and also Laura will be interpreting for her. So one of the challenges of doing this on radio, but Victoria, Laura, thank you very much for helping us to do this. And also Jaime from Merge.
You're welcome.
Is here as well, and it may get a little bit complicated, but I'm trying to get my head around it, and really glad to be doing this today. So that's all good. And Diane Campbell and myself are going to be learning some sign language and having a bit of a competition live on the radio. I'm not confident at all. Actually, normally this would be the sort of thing to say, hey, yeah, I've got this, but yeah, I'm a bit nervous. So pray for me if you like. And Nick is also our photographer. I forgot to introduce Nick beforehand. Nick is our photographer. That's his thumb, so that we can do this on Facebook.
Our camera guy. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. So we have a minute to go on the song. And yeah, we'll get the recording happening in the background as well, so that the audio that we record we will put on our website, and then we'll put a clickable link through to you guys, so that people can find out more information.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Great. That
That's
sounds
good.
wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're all ready for this? Okay, we're live in 30 seconds. I'll start turning the my mic on, and then other mics from there. Yeah. That is Zach Williams on Rema, and Fear is a Liar. It has just gone 20 past 11, and doing something very different in the Rema studio today. My recommendation for people that are listening, if you can watch this on our Facebook live stream, then I do recommend it, because some of what is about to happen in the Rema studio is very visual. But firstly, I'd like to introduce you to my guests. Now, they're from Merge, which is an organisation which helps people in terms of sign language and awareness of that, and partnering with the deaf community. So Jaime from Merge, thank you for being in the studio today.
Well, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
And also Victoria. Victoria, wonderful to have you in the studio here today.
Thank you very much. I am Victoria, and it's great to be here.
And helping Victoria communicate on the radio is Laura, who is doing some interpretation. Laura, thanks for being there. And also thanks to our cameraman Nick for making this possible from a visual point of view. When it comes to New Zealand Sign Language Week, this is an opportunity, I suppose, to highlight something which, Victoria, from your point of view, this is your normal, but for other people, this is our opportunity to have more of an understanding of how you live.
Look, Sign Language Week is all about, it's really about encouraging Kiwis throughout New Zealand. It's an opportunity to learn sign language. So it doesn't matter if it's just a few signs here or there, or if you're more in advanced stage. We're really encouraging everybody to participate in this and to have fun, to learn, have fun. Sign language is a beautiful language, and of course our children will benefit from this as well. So if you have deaf children within your family, neighbours, friends, teach them NZSL. It's one of our official languages of New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, that is significant that it is one of our official languages. I think it's also fair to say that it's the official language that the fewest amount of people know, certainly when it comes to picking up this language and being able to communicate clearly, even if it's just some basic sentences. There's a long way to go in this regard.
Yeah, sure. And for example, the sign for good morning, as I'm doing it right now, it's the thumbs up to indicate good, and then the sun rising. So you also use your dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, you'd use that one.
Okay.
Okay.
So thumbs up for
so
good.
Thumbs up for good.
And then
then the sun rising, as you can see.
Yeah. So
the handshake is everything. So this indicates the sun and the rays coming up in the morning.
Okay,
good
that's
morning.
good. So good morning.
Yeah.
Okay, and see, I've learned something already. We've taken a step forward in that regard. When it comes to what's happening for New Zealand Sign Language Week, Jamie, if I can bring you in on this one, perhaps.
Sure.
Generally raising people's awareness, but what are some of the activities that you guys have got planned that people can be involved with as a part of New Zealand Sign Language Week?
Sure, so we've got a lot of free activities that we're excited to bring the community. So we've got this afternoon at Glenfield Library in the North Shore in Auckland, we're doing a story time for kids. So if you want to bring your children along to learn a little bit of sign language at the library, we're doing that. And also on Friday, something exciting for Merge is we're holding a community event at the Hamilton Gardens. And that'll be a launch for Merge because we're spreading our services to Hamilton. So we have the Deputy Mayor coming, so that's really exciting. And we'll also have some sign singing performance. So yeah, lots of things happening this week.
Tell us a little bit more about Emerge, because I possibly didn't give it enough credit in terms of the work that you do and how people can be involved with it.
Sure, so we're a deaf-led company, which is really important, and we do the promotion, the development and the services related to sign language. So we're quite a new company, but we've had a really great response from the public, and a lot of people are interested. I think the awareness now has really been raised, and people are really interested to learn a little bit more about New Zealand Sign Language.
Also, just in addition to that, we do offer online learning of sign language as well as face-to-face sign language. So, and we cater to different age groups. So we have school programs right through to universities, businesses. We have just an array of services that we can provide. Our tutors are all qualified to teach our community, yeah. And so every week we also, we will have either a block course or just a one-off.
Victoria, you're talking there about how the use of online teaching tools. The new technology and the way in which this has been a very useful tool, both for people from the deaf community, but also as a teaching tool to help people be more aware and to help the communication process. Has that made a big difference?
Yeah, it most certainly has. It's made an absolutely huge difference. We have more deaf people, which means they have more opportunities in employment. We also provide, I suppose, different levels, but sign language being a visual language, it's a tool that allows our community to stay in touch with each other, and it means that we're able to fully participate within society as well. Whether, previously, say the small rural towns, where we didn't have enough sign language tutors. So technology has been a huge advantage for situations like that.
So both in terms of teaching sign language visually online, but also using online tools and mobile phones and apps as a way of helping people communicate, bridging the gap?
Exactly right. We have developed an app, and it's called Storybook, for children to learn sign language through visual videos that incorporate NZSL, and there is also English captioning there, so it's a bilingual approach that we're coming from. Jamie, did you have anything to add on that front?
Yeah, I think technology has played a huge part in accessibility for the deaf community. An example would be the text service for 111. You know, something simple like that maybe hearing people don't sort of think about, just being able to pick up the phone and call 111 if you need that assistance. So the deaf people in the past haven't had that ability, and now they can. So yeah, technology does play a huge part in accessibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, sorry, I was actually just interpreting for you, Jamie, so the camera got us. Yep. And in addition to that as well, in terms of technology, it gives the deaf community, I think, empowerment. In the past, it was pretty much, I suppose, hearing dominated, where there was a reliance on hearing people to do things for us. And we have an official language, we have technology, it's right here now, so it's really a step for us, you know, in leadership roles, it's a step up for us. And so, you know, time has evolved. Things have really changed over the last few years, and we're really, really excited to see a lot more deaf people just raising their bar and being able to step up as well. So we also have, as we know, Jacinda Ardern, who also attempted some sign language. That's been absolutely positive for us. So we are really looking forward to the future and the development, further development. If everyone in New Zealand, I suppose, knew te reo Māori or some vocab, for example, kia ora, aroha, then we really want to take on that same approach for sign language, the sign for thank you, the sign for how are you, coffee, family, you know, things like that. So it's just that, you start somewhere with the vocab, but it has a benefit, for everyone in Aotearoa. And I really think the world, would be watching us and seeing us as a leader in that regard. But of course, you need to have that partnership with the hearing community as well.
No, that is so important. When it comes to any language, I suppose, language is dynamic and it changes over time. And when we invent new things, we need new words for that. How distinctive is New Zealand Sign Language, Victoria? How is New Zealand Sign Language different than perhaps what happens in other parts of the world?
Well, sign language is not universal. There are around 200 sign languages throughout the world. So every language does evolve over time. And we also borrow bits and pieces, from overseas as well. So if we don't have a sign for a particular thing, and New Zealand is influenced by BSL, that's British Sign Language. For example, some new technological words. For example, Wi-Fi. In the past, we didn't have a sign for that, so the deaf community created a sign. And that lies with the deaf community to create these signs as well. So from there we have a sign. So you use your index finger, and your dominant hand shows the frequencies.
Okay, so
backward and forward. So that indicates Wi-Fi.
Am I getting that right, Victoria? Is that okay? Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely perfect,
okay,
Andrew.
That's good.
You're
Wi-Fi.
a natural.
This is my second one. Now I've just got to use good morning and Wi-Fi in a sentence. I'm not sure, but we're certainly looking forward to developing and learning more phrases and more vocabulary in New Zealand Sign Language, and very much encouraging people as well to take that step, to learn some basic phrases, to be able to introduce themselves, to be able to give a greeting, and to take some steps further along the journey when it comes to being able to engage with people through New Zealand Sign Language. We'll be back with more, and looking forward to a competition between myself and Diane Campbell, who is the best at doing New Zealand Sign Language. Now, I've had a bit of a head start on this one, but I must say I'm nervous. Diane's a lot more coordinated than I am, as regular listeners will know, but we'll put this to the test. It's coming up after this song from Mercy Me on Rima. It's all good.
Where am I going to go?
Well,
I'll come and stand.
No,
I
no.
will come and stand over here. Yeah.
Yeah, you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good with this.
Yeah, good.
Now, just to talk logistics.
Yes.
We still have Robert. We are going to have
Oh,
Robert
Robert.
Chapman at
Robert, yeah, good.
45. So we probably just need to, keep it.
Sorry, we weren't aware. We weren't sure whether or what we were going to have another interview. We've been trying to get a professor on the Iran deal. We've been trying to get him since this morning, and finally he's come through and says, "Oh, just 11:15 will be fine." So, yeah.
Okay. So
But-
sorry, but I think we've still probably got the probably 5-7 minutes to do
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
plenty of time,
Yeah,
really.
plenty of time.
Yeah. So are we going to do the learning here, and
Yes.
then maybe just a quick filming afterwards?
Yeah,
Just to do that properly.
that sounds good.
I've learned some signs.
Have you?
I was watching.
Ah,
So when you're signing,
Yeah.
it's very, very important to use lip patterns.
lip
Oh,
pattern.
is it?
You absolutely must.
Okay.
You turn your voice off, but you
Yeah.
must use lip patterns. So,
So-
good morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
so
I
you
would
need
go.
to show them both. Oh, Andrew, one hand, good, and morning. Sun rising, remember? Sun rising, so coming up in the morning. There you go.
So what would good night be then?
Here we go. Good night.
Oh, night like
Shades
that.
are down or
Good.
darkness.
Two hands, right? Two hands.
You can use one hand if you like, or
Or two, like that. Oh, yeah. Okay.
palms towards you.
I love this. This is.
If you have quite a big audience, you may use the two hand. If it's just one-on-one, it's quite
Oh, yeah.
intimate, then you might just revert to one hand.
Good night.
Okay.
Oh,
Good night.
night.
There you go. Relax. Relax.
No, it's very stressful.
Hey,
So,
look, can I just say as well, my apologies before for my phone ringing.
Oh.
Obviously, I'm deaf. I did not hear it, so I'm sorry about that. Now, in terms of the
problem.
phrases, okay, what phrases?
What would be because ultimately we want other people to learn sign language by looking at our video. So what would be a good phrase for them, basically? One that they can use in a whatever situation.
Maybe something involving coffee,
coffee.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
Sure.
love coffee? Going to a cafe, being able to order a drink and in
Oh,
sign
yes.
language.
Yeah, that's
Sure,
pretty
that
good.
would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or tea. Victoria doesn't like
Also,
coffee.
not a coffee
There you
person.
Is this tea? Tea?
This
Oh.
is the sign for tea, yes.
Oh, that's so dainty, isn't it?
Okay, we have
It's gonna
43
be tea.
seconds to go in the song.
Excellent.
We are still recording. And hi again to the people on Facebook Live that have been watching us
Hi.
behind the scenes.
Just to let you know that we've had lots of people
Thank you,
saying
Nan.
hi, good to hear from you guys on Facebook. So
Oh,
that's
that's
cool.
lovely.
Lots of people are checking in. So that's cool.
Jamie, if you could be a little bit closer to the
Oh, sorry. Yes,
microphone.
I don't
That's
have
right.
a loud voice, so I should.
Yep. Okay, 10 seconds. That is Mercy Me on Rima, and even if I know it's serious in the studio now, Diane, because we're both standing up, we must be about to do something very serious.
This is right.
I haven't been this nervous since I attempted to eat 5 pizzas in 5 minutes. This is
a different kind of nerve, right?
Well, it is actually.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that I'm nervous is because I want to do this right, and I suspect I'm not going to be very good at it.
Oh, Andrew, no. I've been watching you practice, and I actually think you're doing pretty well.
I now know a lot more than I used to do, but that's not very hard. That's not difficult, actually.
Okay.
But for the people watching on Facebook Live, we are streaming this on our Facebook page at the moment. There is a visual aspect to what we're doing, and we would encourage you to check that out if you can. If you're not able to watch it at the moment, we will post that video there for you to check out a little bit later on. But Victoria, thank you so much for your grace and your patience in teaching us some basic sign.
You're absolutely welcome.
What sort of phrases could we learn this morning? Now we don't have a lot of time, but start us off. What could we learn this morning?
No worries. Okay, I'll get cracking then. So good morning. The sign for good morning.
Good morning.
Learnt.
Good
morning. Yep, sign for good's up. Good up. And then facial expressions.
Yes.
Eyebrows raised. How are you? Like this.
Oh.
How are you? This is a sign for how are you?
Okay.
How are you?
How are you?
How are
Eyebrows
you?
raised. The sign for thank you.
Thank you.
The sign for thank you.
This is great.
Is great.
Yeah.
Now, nice to meet you. You two can say that to each other. Nice.
Nice
to meet you.
To meet you.
Oh.
So from yourself and toward the other person.
Like that?
To
like
index
that.
finger. So it's indicating two people coming together.
Okay, like that.
Okay.
So you're going to do it directionally towards Diane.
And you're
Right.
probably gonna want to be careful not to join those two index fingers. I know you guys work together, but you probably don't want to kiss, so you just want to keep them separate there.
We have a good working relationship, but it's not like that. Okay, yeah. So what's the
so
first
make
part
sure
of that again,
the
Victoria?
point each other.
Okay, sure.
So just pretend that fingerprint there is a face.
Right.
Oh, yes.
I see this.
You're
Okay.
Diane and the other is indicating Andrew.
Okay. It's funny, I keep looking to Andrew to do this, and
No,
actually
no.
you don't know what you're doing.
I've absolutely
so
no idea
I
what
need
I'm
to
doing.
look to
Well,
Victoria.
can I just say actually that eye contact though in NZSL is vital.
Okay.
Alright, so another sign is come to the cafe.
Oh,
Food,
okay.
drink, perhaps.
Okay.
So come on.
Come.
To the cafe.
For-
So you're holding
Yeah.
the saucer.
Yes.
Okay,
And the
sure.
other hand indicates the teacup.
Oh, this is great. It's
Okay.
so very dainty, isn't
Tea.
it? I like it.
So again, remember to use your dominant hand.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So this is how you're
Okay.
indicating the
Oh,
teacup,
yes.
and the teacup obviously as if you were drinking. Come
Right.
over to the cafe.
Okay.
Okay.
And come is just sort of
And
like
eye
you're
contact.
gesturing to bring them on over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
and
that.
so you just sign that once.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Or you could be really
if
hurried.
you're talking to children and there's some urgency, you might do a few more of those
Yeah.
signs.
Okay, I've got this. Yeah.
And so come to the cafe for a drink. Have a chat. Let's have a chat.
Have a
Like
chat.
that. Have I got that? Yeah.
Let's have a chat.
Okay.
Or chat this way.
Right.
So this is a verbal chat.
Oh, verbal.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay,
Obviously
sure.
a verbal chat. Well,
Right.
this is a chat in NZSL.
All right. Okay.
Hands going 10 to the dozen.
Sort of
Right.
we're waving at each other there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
Or verbal like this. I'm more of a verbal guy.
You are.
That's
I can
okay.
understand
No
that.
worries there. Your choice.
Well, we really, really appreciate this. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how we've done. Actually, I think Diane's done a better job than me. But
I'm not so sure.
but Victoria, we really appreciate your patience and
Yeah.
would encourage people who are listening to the program to take some further steps. Now, we're
We're
talking
really happy to be
beforehand about Merge.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is an organisation that helps people take those first steps. So for people that are listening into this or they're watching on Facebook Live, what's the next step in this journey for people who are saying, hey, that was encouraging, I'd like to find out more. Jamie, what would people do as part of the next step on this journey?
I think the next step is give it a go. Don't be afraid. Have some fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can check out our website, www.mergenz.co.nz, and we've got some courses there you can sign up to. We've got face-to-face courses in Auckland and Hamilton, but we also have online, so that's nationwide. So no excuses, just give it a go.
Thank you.
Jamie, Victoria, and Laura, thank you so much indeed for your patience. Wonderful to have you in the studio and to be part of
You're
our program.
welcome. Look, it was a pleasure being here. It was a great experience for myself as a deaf person being in a studio like this.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. And happy Sign Language Week, everyone. Thank you and goodbye.
Great.
Awesome. That was so much fun.
That was
Guys,
amazing.
really appreciate the opportunity. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
I think you're
no.
probably the first radio station to do anything like this, so it's really
Oh,
awesome.
how
Well
brave
done.
are we,
Yes,
I
well
just,
done.
it just seemed like such a cool idea. And especially now, you know, with things like Facebook, you
Yes.
can actually make it a visual thing.
No, that's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're done.
Thank you.
Thanks for everyone on Facebook Live.
Thank you.
And yeah, get stuck into it. See you later. Bye.